Hey sweet girls, welcome to another video. So this is going to be like a wine and chat. So if you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, you've probably seen me post a poll asking you guys if you all had any questions because we were going to do a Q&A sooner. Well, soon. But honestly, it's a little late, but we're here today. So I want you to grab your wine and girl, we're about to chat. But my wine of choice tonight is going to be this Dulce Sweet Red Blend by Menage a Toss. And I want to say her name is like Brienne Leanne or something on TikTok and all of the platforms. Okay, so her name is Brooklyn. She was posted this and she said this was one of the best sweet reds. So I bought it, and honestly it is really good, but it's still just a little bit too sweet for my liking. But I'm really enjoying it. So pour this and cheers. Now let's get into it. So I only got one question on TikTok, and that question was, where are you from? I am from Birmingham, Alabama, and I do still currently live in Birmingham, Alabama. This was not part of the question, but I have lived in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Other than that, I've never lived outside of the state. I have traveled several places, but I've never resided in other states or any other city besides Tuscaloosa. And that was college. I went to the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. Actually, I graduated from the University of Alabama in undergrad, and then I went to Troy for my master's, but I was online, so I didn't live there. Big as you know, content is what you want to do. So honestly, the science has been around me since about 2011, 2012, but I just never really got it. Honestly, I enjoy doing it, but I really feel like it's a tug from God. I really have felt like that. At first, I still struggle with what I'm supposed to be delivering. But I know that like YouTube specifically, not just content creation, but YouTube specifically is supposed to be part of my purpose, because my mom bought me a camera back in college. I want to say it's my sophomore year, 2011, 2012. I want to say it's for Christmas, so probably 2011. And it had like a YouTube button on there. And it just kept coming to me like, hey, you should try it. And I wasn't even one of the girls who sat on YouTube all the time and watched YouTube girlies yet. But it kept, something in me was eager to learn how to upload a video on YouTube. But I just never really did it or gave it that much energy and time. And then it would be mentioned to me over the years like, oh, when you talk, people listen. You always have very interesting views and a good viewpoint on a lot of things, and I think you would do really good with YouTube. And a lot of people would ask me to make videos of me doing makeup back in the day, and y'all, I used to record me making my makeup and then just do my makeup and just send it to them to their inbox. Like, why didn't I just post it? I've always been really good at food reviews and just finding hidden gems around the city, and I would post it, like me doing it, but I've never really like made content, if that makes sense. I was influencing, but not on purpose. I just naturally have influence. So I know that it is a gift that I have. I can't really go anywhere, even when I'm looking bummish, without somebody asking me where I got something from, or, you know, something like that. Or people are always in my inbox asking me about restaurants, or just asking me about my skincare, or asking me about this. Like, I have a natural influence. It's not something I've seen other people doing and I'm like, oh, they're doing it, I can do it. No, it's just been a tug. It's something I cannot shake, even though I wasn't interested in figuring out how to edit or none of that. That has never been my thing, but I actually enjoy it and I'm learning as I go. But yeah, I am 110% sure that it's something that God wants me to do, but I'm still in the process of figuring out exactly how am I going to be providing value in, you know, serving him in doing so. So y'all bear with me if y'all see changes in my content. That's because I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not just what you guys want, but I feel like I would know. Or maybe it's not supposed to be one specific thing. Maybe my whole life is my ministry. And of course, some things have to be sacred, but we will see. And also, motherhood is just something magnificent, and I mother differently than what I have ever seen in my life. And I'm pretty sure that's part of my ministry, which is I try my best not to make motherhood a part of my content, but it's a big part of my day-to-day and a big part of my life. Even if I'm talking about fashion, like the way I dress now is because I'm a mother. It's not the same as back then because I prioritize comfort over, it's a whole spiel. But maybe we can get into that more. And if we cover any topics today that you would like me to get more in depth on, then you please let me know. I would absolutely love to make, you know, more in-depth video about it that lets me know what you guys like. Also, if there's just any video ideas that you would like to see, please let me know. Somebody asked, when are you having another baby? When God sees fit. I have some things that I want to do first before having another baby, but I do want another baby, if that's the question. When, I'm not sure. Next, what are you most passionate about that if given the opportunity, you do full time? This has been my answer all of my life. Probably, well, I can say all my life, probably since college or maybe shortly after. Before content creation, especially like restaurant reviews and stuff was hot, anybody that know me, I would say travel the world and try foods, and also be able to visit restaurants around around the world and tell them how I would perfect their recipes, or even like help restaurant startup who's doing a grand opening taste the menu before it come out, give them my opinion on what I think that they could change to make it better, or to just elevate it a little more and give it a little more pop and jazz. I have a palate that is unique. I can taste herbs and seasonings and foods as soon as they touch my tongue, like, and I can identify them. Now, certain herbs and stuff that I don't really care for, like rosemary and thyme, they're very potent and they stick out in dish, and sage and things like that. So if you're really heavy on it, I may not really like it, but that doesn't mean someone else may not like it. But I will possibly tell them like, hey, you know, this is very forward. So that's my dream. If I could just travel the world, try foods and try places, especially foods though, and use my unique gift, my palate, to better people's recipes and restaurants, I absolutely will. I'm such a perfectionist and a deep thinker. I thought about this years ago, like, oh my God, it probably was like 2016, 2017. Y'all, I went down a rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to be a sommelier, because I figured because I figured that was the only way that people will value my opinion is if I had the credentials. But I didn't realize that God could give me, you know, the credentials that man cannot give me. So that is still my dream. I would absolutely love if God fulfills that for me, but I would do that for free. I really would. I already do it for free at a cost to me, honestly. I've been doing that for years, just going to places and, you know, posting little things like, you know, it was good, but what I would change is this. I like this because it got this balsamic glaze on it, and I can taste the dates in it, the balsamic glaze, you know, things like that. I've been doing it for years without even thinking about it. So that's what I would do if I can do it for free. And of course, do it alongside my family. What's your favorite moisturizer and sunscreen? Sunscreen for sure is Black Girl sunscreen, because it's the only one that for sure does not have a white cast, even under makeup. So I found that it works for me. I think like Super Gooper, one of those, the girl is always talking about, and he's saying that it never has a white cast. I haven't tried it, but when people use it like on videos and stuff, it looks great. But Black Girl sunscreen, it works for me, and I like the fact that it's Black Girl sunscreen, so I'm not gonna change unless they change the formula, or unless I'm given, you know, products or something to try. Far as moisturizer, right now I'm using the La Roche-Posay, the triple repair moisturizer, I think, because I use their purifying cleanser, and I hear that if you use the same moisturizer that goes with the cleanser, it normally works better. But y'all, back in the day, Garnier Fructis had this green one in like a jar, and it was my absolute favorite. It smells so good. I know some people don't like fragrance, and I didn't before, but that was so gentle on my skin and so hydrating and lightweight, and it was like a water-based gel, but it was so good, honey. Like, they don't sell it anymore, and then they brought it back and it was in a different packaging, but the formula was different as well. So I hope they bring that one back. I ain't gonna lie, but right now those are the two moisturizers I'm using. Other than that, besides that moisturizer, I've never had a moisturizer that I just loved, and I do like the La Roche-Posay moisturizer. It is a little oily, but that's what I like. And then I just let it sit a little while, and then I might go back and rub it in some more so I won't be as greasy. But I like it, and I don't have oily skin, I don't have dry skin, I have normal. Okay, somebody said, what are your favorite, y'all, I'm sorry, I hiccups. I feel like I'm too old for that. What are your favorite 30-minute or less weeknight meals? A meat and a veggie, like no cap. Whatever meat that I thawed out, or if I haven't thawed out, I'm gonna thaw out some fish, because I can thaw out fish while I get baby girl ready for bed. And some veggies, and pop them in, season them up on one sheet pan and pop them in the oven. That, or some variation of tacos where there is a taco salad, or like sometimes I do like a burger salad. It's almost like a burger, but it's a salad, but I just ground up the turkey instead of making patties. And everything that I would put on a burger, I put it on the salad, and I make a dressing out of like Greek yogurt or mayo. We just not a big mayo household. Ketchup, mustard, and there's something else I use. I can't remember, but yeah, like a burger, you know, or you can use like Thousand Island dressing or something like that. So do that. But yeah, meat and veggie, no, like honestly, that's it. And then sometimes I may make a glaze or something to go on the salmon to jazz it up. And if I'm really feeling jazzy, oh, I'll make quinoa, and then it'll end up being a Buddha bowl. So it'll be quinoa, and if I got like some leafy greens, I put a little bit of that in there. Then the salmon or whatever meat, and then my cooked veggies, and then some kind of sauce, whether it's Zoo sauce or homemade sauce. And that's a quick 30-minute too. And you can make so many variations of a Buddha bowl. We are a Buddha bowl stand. And if I started doing that because of Shakayla Felice, her name used to be Sweet Greens Vegan on YouTube. I think she's still Sweet Green Vegan on, no, her website is Sweet, or either Instagram, I don't know. But her name is Shakayla Felice. She makes a lot of vegan meals, but I just like getting healthy ideas from that. I do make some vegan meals. So yeah, I started doing that because of her. How do you balance your role as a mother, girlfriend, career, woman, and self-care? I don't. I'm just playing. I feel like I've gotten better. I feel like time is the only teacher, especially when it comes to motherhood. I feel like nobody is just born a great parent and knowing what all to do. Because what works for this person may not work for you. What worked with this baby might not work for this baby. What worked in this season might not work in that season. So I just keep pivoting with the seasons. I really don't. I have had a period of motherhood where I dwelled on what I can't do, and I was used to doing things like this, going to the gym at 4 a.m. At one point I was able to do that, and then when I couldn't do it no more, I stopped working out. I gained a little bit of weight back, and I just realized I just have to do it. If I gotta go to the gym in the evening, if I go to the gym at night, if I gotta go out in the garage, one way that I balance my relationship, at one point we had scheduled date nights. Y'all, one second. Lola, sit down. Sit. At one point we had scheduled date nights, and that worked out good for a while. One of us would take a weekend out of the month and plan the date, find a babysitter, all the things. But my child is on a schedule. She goes to sleep every night, no later than 7:30. Sometimes she might be down by 6:30. So that also helps us have time and energy to still be able to even just spend an hour every night with each other, whether it's just eating dinner, watching a movie. And some people may think that's boring, but we enjoy it. Or we may just sit here at the table, eat if we are eating, or just sit here and talk, or lay in bed and talk. And we do lay in bed and talk almost every night if one person is just not absolutely exhausted. But content is something that I'm still trying to juggle. My plan has always been to have a content schedule. So where like on Mondays I record, Tuesdays I edit, do thumbnail. But I always have a monkey wrench thrown in my plans. Like it's always something else that I gotta do. So honestly, I just do the best that I can. And I just don't beat myself up about it. And I just try not to get discouraged. Like y'all haven't seen a lot of shorts or dating lives. I don't know. I just don't. I want to focus on YouTube real bad, and so I don't want to get back in the habit of doing those every day and put YouTube on the back burner, because I did feel like I made that such a priority that I don't want to say YouTube because I was posting on YouTube, but long form content on the back burner, which is what I originally was focused on doing and wanted to do, and that has always been the thing that I have been focused on. So that is how I balance everything. And then also having an understanding partner is how I also balance everything. Because even in my dating life, if y'all see me shut down the house, if y'all don't notice, y'all don't see me shut down the house every night. And that's because some nights Fred shuts down the house. He may wash the dishes. There are nights where he's doing a lot of things that y'all don't see, but this is not his channel, so I don't show you guys. Just like right now, he's in the room watching a movie, ironing all of her clothes for the week. Because he irons her clothes for the week, I don't have to worry about that. All I have to worry about is getting her ready. And I handle her hair. I try to have her hair in a style where it's done. So we do a lot of teamwork around here. And let's say if I wanted to edit earlier and he's off today, so I can say, hey, I need you to get her ready for bed tonight. But I don't do that all the time because I actually enjoy getting her ready for bed. I've been doing it for so long. He does do it here and there. And at one point in time, we used to rotate every other day. But having a supportive partner, especially when you're a mother, like I could never be with a man who thinks that he just works and provides and doesn't clean dishes, wash clothes, fold clothes, help with the kids. That I personally could never do it. And he knows it as well. Like even if I was a stay-at-home mom, that's still not going to be my life. And I don't see that in him either. So that's another thing. We cannot do it all. It does take a village. And also, if you got people that wants to help you and you know that your child is going to be safe, let them help you. Next was, what has been your biggest lesson since being more consistent with your content? My biggest lesson has been that consistency does, like, it boosts confidence, honestly. Like, the imposter syndrome, I feel like kind of went away once I started being consistent because I didn't have time to think about, oh, is it right? No, I'm just focused on being consistent. I'm just focused on showing up. Now, I'm not focused on just putting out anything, but I know as time goes on that the editing is going to get better. The ideas are going to get better. The way that I film is going to get better, which is going to make editing better and faster and easier. So consistency, literally, I know all the girls say consistency, consistency, consistency. And it's true because you literally get better. Just like I just said about motherhood, you become a better mother with time. Content creation, you just get better with time. You just have to start. And I wish that I would have just started even when I was, I wanted to start food content creation back in like before COVID, I remember. And we have a person here in Birmingham now who does food content creation, and he was the person who made my logo and everything. And y'all, I set up an LLC and everything to create content. Why? Because I'm a perfectionist. I felt like it had to all be perfectly laid out and professional before I start. Nah, I should just picked up the camera. And I did like once and edited, and I was like, man, it took me forever because I don't know what I'm doing. But I should have kept going. I was making it so difficult to find a perfect tripod. Y'all, I was overthinking it so much that I thought myself out of it, honey. So just be simple. Just be simple. Go to Amazon, go to Google what you need, buy it, and do it. Like I've been up buying like 5 gadgets trying to make a tripod to do this, and girl, this stuff was already on the market. Why didn't I just buy it? I thought it didn't exist because I didn't see people using it, but I overcomplicated it and I held myself back. So the biggest thing is to just like not be in your head, not be a perfectionist, just start. And just trust the Lord, because your idea actually might not be what you're supposed to be doing or your purpose. Like, you just have to start. So that's been my biggest lesson since being consistent. And just to continue to be consistent is harder than you think. But yeah, just continue to be consistent. And the same person asked me why I'm so bad. Girl, because the Lord and my parents. Yeah, she's my favorite girl. People ask her, how you get so pretty? She said, my parents. And I'm like, who's your parents? My mom and daddy. So yeah, girl, the Lord and my parents, and water, and a healthy relationship. Yeah, girl, because you know a bad relationship will take people down through their hand. Alright, so we got 2 more questions, and I'm saving the best for last because this person has been waiting on this video. They inboxed me, asked me for my YouTube link, and it was like, you know what video I'm waiting on? I'm looking for, right? And I was like, nah. And they responded back to the story, and I was like, oh. Yeah, I was like, oh, I had to record it. So, okay, one more. What are the best foods to eat for someone going through menopause? I am not going through menopause, but transparently, I have had some hormonal imbalances and issues recently, and I reversed them quite quickly. And how I know is I was having terrible night sweats, like waking up drenched, soaking wet. Thank God for a partner who understands. But just waking up drenched. But I wouldn't even be hot. I would honestly just be drenched. My testosterone was, or maybe even still is, I don't know, but I feel so much better. It was literally non-existent. And there were some other hormones that needed to be sought after, but what would fix it was my A1C was a little elevated, and of course I need to lose more weight. For reference, I am 5 feet tall, and I currently am like fluctuating between 162, 165. I have lost quite a bit of weight. I got stuck at like 189, 190 after I had baby girl, and you know, you shed out the little baby weight or whatever. And yeah, so basically I have just, I wouldn't say it's nothing that you need to eat specifically, but just eating a whole food diet. I feel like that's just to be a healthy person in general. Like limiting processed foods, limiting caffeine. If you're gonna drink caffeine, try to eliminate sugar. Try not to overdo it on dairy. Just eating whole foods, no processed foods or limited processed foods. If you're gonna have processed foods, try to go for clean ingredients, limit the gums and the preservatives and things like that, and fillers. Try to get your vitamin A, vitamin D, and all those things from supplements or from real food sources, and not like the supplements they put in cereal and things like that. Of course, drink your water. I also, what else balance hormone? Of course, there's many vitamins that's out here that's supposed to help with hormone imbalances, and I actually haven't tried them myself, but I have a list in my phone. It's a guy on TikTok. He seems like he don't play when he mentions stuff about his vitamin honey. So I really think that he knows his stuff. So I'm trying to see if I can find it. Okay, so he mentioned these few vitamins that could help with like hormone imbalance, and I know some of them are interchangeable for menopause. Vitamin D's, omega-3 fatty acids, probiotics, vitamin D. If you don't know, most black people are vitamin D deficient, and if you are, you would need vitamin D3, and I think you need like, is it 50,000 units or something like that? Liver enhancement nutrients like broccoli, organs, red meat, spinach, tomatoes, chasteberry, tree, vitex, holy basil, and donquai. So those are some supplements that I have wrote down to look into, but honestly I feel so much better by just trying to get the weight off. Also get my A1C down by watching how I eat. So even if I do have a plate with carbs on it, I'm trying to eat like my fiber and protein first before I even touch my carbs. It prevents your insulin from spiking. So things like that. Just trying to stay away from like your simple carbs, eating more complex carbs and things like that. Also, so the next question is the last one. This person said, is there such thing as a high value woman? If so, what make her high value? I don't feel like I'm the most qualified person to answer this. I honestly don't know if anybody is qualified. I personally don't think so. I think that is a very opinion-based answer. Every answer would be opinion-based. Unless we're gonna like literally reference to like Proverbs 31. And speaking of Proverbs 31, that is another way that I balance everything. Proverbs 31 literally gives women instructions for life, including like waking up before your household wakes up so that you can spend time with God, tend to yourself, and tend to your household and prepare meals and things like that. So read Proverbs 31 with intention and absorb it, and try to see how you can apply that to your life. But also, a high value woman to me is just one who brings value. Like, and value doesn't have to be money, because a woman can have all the money inherited or just got it, and just mentally just not there. She doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know left from right. All she knows is money and how to spend it or how to get it. You know, that doesn't mean she's brings you value. A high value woman can be a woman who's very resourceful. A high value woman can just be a woman who just adds value to your life, who's a great life partner. A high value woman to me can be someone who, you know, she doesn't have to, I feel like high value can be confused with someone who's arrogant and kind of snobby. I feel like people say, oh, some men make see that as high value. I'm not sure, I'm not a man. But I think that a woman of high value, it is also a woman who is sure about who she is. And she walks boldly and confidently in that. And she knows the value that she brings. Every woman can bring different values to friendship, to a job, to a relationship. And that's why so many women are different. Like, why would we need friends if there was like one thing that makes you high value? But you know, in most friend groups, you might have a friend who's like really good in this or really good for that. Like, she may be really good for motivation. This friend may be really good for prayer. This friend may be really good for business type conversations. This friend may be the friend that you go to who does have a healthy marriage, but it's gonna also check you, and that's the person you may talk to sometimes about more things that you don't share with others. So a high value woman can just be different for everybody, but just a woman that brings value for what you need in your life and your purpose. So I think that is something that may need to be prayed about for everybody. I know it's something that I prayed about for, is like a high value man or a man that God needs for me to also keep me aligned with the woman that he needs me to be, and so that I can continue being her and growing in that, because I've come a long way. But God spoke to me a long time ago, and I wrote everything down. And I know my current relationship he's not my husband yet. But I do feel like he checks all the boxes of things that I do believe that God would be pleased with, and that he has spoken to me about what he needs for me to have in order to keep my value and to elevate my value. And we do bring value to one another in many ways. And he also speaks about that all the time. And he's really big on like money is not what brings value to the relationship, even for me, like bringing in income at all. So I just think that that's opinion based. It's something that needs to be prayed about, and you seek Holy Spirit and just quiet the noise and not the opinions of others, and not these relationship gurus on social media, not even me. Like, because I'm telling you what I think. So that's my definition of what I think a high value woman is. And of course, who takes pride in her appearance and everything else. And it doesn't, once again, mean arrogance, but just her hygiene, how she looks, being put together. Because not only is she a representation of herself, she is a representation of the Lord and her family, the family that birthed her and the family that she's creating. So those are things that I feel like I have value. And of course, her tongue, that's something I have had to work on, and I am still working on, because I could talk like a sailor at times. So I've gotten so much better though. So I think that's all, y'all. I don't have any more questions, but this was really fun. I hope I did not bore you. I hope that my answers were interesting. Y'all, this was off the dome. I did not premeditate any of these answers at all. So, but I'm glad that you all are interested in knowing more about little old me, even though we didn't end up a ton of questions that were good. So I look forward to talking to you guys next time, and don't forget to leave video ideas, or if you want to talk about any of these things more in depth, please let me know. I truly enjoy talking to you guys in my comments, video, even though y'all can't talk back, in my DMs, whatever. I love you all. I love my sweet girls. And that's all. Bye, sweet girl.